I'm willing to bet that some very big defensive plays are going to take part in our MaxPreps top 10 games of the week. And two games that I want to bring in Steve Spiewak to talk about are ones that involve New Jersey teams. So let's bring in our local New Jerseyan, Steve Spiewak, to talk about these big games.
Thank you, Chris. The games are St. Thomas Aquinas taking on Don Bosco Prep and St. Joseph Regional of New Jersey traveling to Ohio to take on St. Edward's. The Aquinas-Don Bosco game is a fascinating rematch from a 2002 contest, which Don Bosco won 20-10 in Florida. Now, St. Thomas Aquinas, the #1 ranked team in our composite rankings, is traveling north and will take on Don Bosco Prep on the campus of West Point in New York. And for people who like offenses, St. Thomas Aquinas has plenty of it. Senior quarterback Jake Rizzo is behind center, and I really think that their receiving core is as good or better than any other in the country. Devontae Pete, Sam Bruce, Jawan Harris, Trevon Grimes, only a sophomore. They are loaded with receivers in all different shapes and sizes and speeds and heights, and they just have a really, really deep unit. Of course, their running backs aren't bad either with Jordan Scarlett and Deltron Sands. But for the defensive fans like you, Steve, Don Bosco Prep is absolutely going to bring it. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people expect, and I think the Don Bosco Prep defense is really going to show up. They have 6'9" defensive tackle Kevin Fetter, who just is an absolute man on the defensive line and requires 2 men to block him. They got Brandon Simon at defensive end, Zach Jaconis, Anthony Malaguti at linebacker, and some very impressive defensive backs like Davon Ellison and Lawrence Stevens. I think it's going to be a very, very good game. Saturday at West Point, I think it's going to be a huge crowd. I think it's going to be one of the biggest games of the season. Also on Saturday, the St. Joseph Regional game against St. Edward in Cleveland. This is another game that I think is going to be very, very competitive. St. Edward is #2 in the MaxPreps top 25 composite rankings. They are looking very strong, 2-0. Quarterback Brett Keene is a mastermind of Rick Finotti's offense. This is his second year behind center. He's flourishing. Sean Crawford lines up at receiver and defensive back. They have the Dole brothers also playing little receiver, little running back. It's a very, very good team, and it's reminding people of the 2010 team that finished top 5 in the country nationally, and some people think that they could finish that way again this year. The St. Joseph Regional squad is a very, very physical team under the direction of first-year head coach Augie Hoffman. They have Tommy Hatton on the offensive line. They have a new quarterback, Jack Walsh, but he looked very strong in St. Joseph Regional's season opening win. Against McDonough, they have running back John Giles Harris, and this is a team that is 11-1 in interstate matchups since 2004. St. Edward during that time is 23-2, so you're looking at two teams that don't lose often when they play teams from other states. I think it's going to be a great game, so some really fun action for fans in those states.
All right, thanks, Steve. We'll have both those games being live scored via Quick Score. If you're going to a game, hit it up.
Gotta quick score the game, please. People are out there wanting to see the live scores as they happen, and you being a fan, all you're doing is serving fans by doing quick score at the game. It's providing live scores, it's being a part of a network, and you're actually giving us something that we want to know right then.
Yep, and make sure to tweet us all weekend if anything goes down at your game we should know about, whether that's a top play, maybe a skunk running on the field, whatever it may be. We want to know about it.